Hello there, welcome to this guide where we're going to be focusing on how you can get Anubis before level 20. So Anubis is a late game boss. He will usually just spawn in the desert over here. As a boss, he's level 47. Endgame boss difficult to get, but you can actually pick him up fairly early through the power of breeding, which is what we're going to do. And the reasons why I would like to pick up Anubis fairly early is because he has handiwork level 4, mining level 3, and transporting level 2. All of these are very important for a base to run smoothly. And honestly too, he is very, very good at combat. So he's a very, very good pal to have. He has small stature, doesn't get stuck a lot. So very, very nice to have. And the earlier you get him, the better. So let us go over why, or rather how, we are going to get him before level 20. Now, as you can see here in these breeding stations, there are some pairs working. We have Relaxosaurus and Celeray. The combination of these two actually do produce an Anubis. And as you might guess, both of these you can get fairly easily. Relaxosaurus here, finding one in the wild at level 15 is doable, as well as finding a bunch of Celerays. So the only thing you really need to find is a Relaxosaurus or two. Honestly, you can farm Celerays until you get the one you need, so I wouldn't be too worried. But if we take a look at Relaxosaurus over here and where he lives over here, not too far away from where you spawn. And as I said, he's incredibly easy to farm, particularly early game. You're probably going to have to do a little bit of investment in your pal sphere to get him, but getting an Anubis as a reward, I think is going to be more than worth it. Other combinations you can use, Bushi and Penking, both are bosses. You have the Bushi over here, next to the Seal Ram of the Swordmaster. You have the Penking over here, next to the Seal Ram of Frozen Wings. Both of these you can, again, pick up as bosses. They too will produce Bushis, sorry, not Bushis, Anubises. And over here, we have Elizabeth and Chillet. Chillet has wandered off, but that combination too does produce Anubis, as well as the combination that we have over here of a Tombat and a Sweeper. So there are several early game pals that you can kind of take advantage of in order to produce Anubis eggs. Now, the way to go forward, if you are a little bit unsure how breeding works, is that once you hit level 19, you will be able to unlock the breeding farm. It's pretty cheap. It costs some fiber, some wood, and some stone. But once you have this built, you're basically already kind of set. Next up, you're going to need this cooking pot. It's level 17, I believe. And the reason why we need that is because we need to produce cake. Now, cake is fairly easy to produce to some degree. Just needs flour, red berries, milk, egg, and honey. And we can get those bottom three from pals, which I have over here. We have the bee guard, produces honey. We have the chickpea, produces egg. We have the mozzarella, who's kind of hidden here, produces milk. Now, usually I wouldn't be running for breeding farms like this. Usually I'll be running one, at most two, and have the rest be ranches for producing the ingredients for cakes. But in this case, I wanted to kind of show off what combinations are available to you. We actually have more combinations in the pal box that we'll go over in just a second. But once you get cake production up and running, and also, well, the breeding farms themselves, as well as the pals, it becomes pretty smooth sailing. Now, other combinations that we can use to produce the pals, produce the Anubises, as you can see, been hard at work, are, as seen here, these are basically some of the combinations that we already used. Alexosaurus plus Celeray, Sweeper plus Tombat, Panking plus Bushi, King Parka plus Vanworm is another one. That's somewhat easier to get. King Parka is another level 23 boss that you can find next to the small settlement over here. And Vanworms can be found in nature as low as level 10. So not really too troubling to come by. And as you can see here, this is our last example that we showed, Elizabeth and Chillet. But you can also do Elizabeth and Adenosum. And that's kind of what this signifies. There's several paths that can be combined with one in order to make a Anubis. For instance, Grisbolt, if you're going to Safari and pick one of those, you can combine it with either Lavanda, Loopmoon, or Capricorn. Basically, that's how this little chart of mine works. The panel on the left is necessary, but you can use any of the panels on the right. So for Grisbolt, any of these three will do the trick to produce an Anubis. Now, for Xenomoth here, you can also combine it with a Bushi. I just don't have an extra Bushi for this, so there would usually be a Bushi here, so you can actually do that as well. Helsifer, if you run into him, can pick up Lavanda or Loopman to combine with, and Beacon, which I got from an egg due to luck, which you can also do fairly early. Just roam the map a little bit, find eggs. You might get pals that you usually wouldn't be able to, and then you can combine them with some other lower level pals to make a Anubis. So yeah, Anubis is fairly easy to get. Crossbreeding is definitely a very, very good way of getting potentially bosses. Is there any other bosses you'd like to, or rather, any other pals that you'd like to know the breed combination of? Let me know. And I think later today I'll have a basic guide on breeding that'll go more in depth into how the breeding process works if you're a little bit uncertain. So yeah, look forward to that. But yeah, that is it. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed, and I shall see you next time. If there is any questions or anything I wasn't clear about how you breed Anubis before level 20, please let me know, and I'll do my best to answer it. Please like, subscribe. Hope you have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.